Understanding the difference between being a leader and a manager is important for any business owner or employee who has workers under them. So let's define the difference. What does it mean to be a leader? They have a vision that they can meet through being creative and having soft skills to lead the team towards that goal. The goal of the leader is essentially to change the mindset of those around them. As those challenges come unexpectedly, the leader is able to pivot, they're able to create new ideas, they're able to create new goals, and they're able to inspire the team around them to go and tackle those challenges. A leader leads from the front. Please remember that. A leader leads from the front. That is one of the biggest differences of a leader and a manager. A leader will be the person right at the tip of the spear. They're the person who are leading the charge. They're the people you see in these movies where, the dude gets off the horse and he just starts battling everybody, and you're like, what the heck, isn't he the king? If he dies, everything goes to, blah. So that's the type of a person that a leader is. They're not afraid to get dirty. They're not afraid to stay long hours. They're not afraid to do whatever it takes to reach that goal. And by them doing that, it inspires the team towards the same goal. Essentially, a leader is somebody that you would want to emulate, right? There's somebody that you would want to be like in a way where you grab certain tools from them or certain, work ethic and actions that they do that really inspire you. And you say, wow, I really like that about them. That is a leader. So then what's a manager? A manager is an expert in policies and systems. A manager is logic-oriented and follow established guidelines. So they use more of an analytical mindset. They are very driven by SOPs, by standards, by, what the policies really state, and they're more by the book. They actually plan and they oversee the tasks, right? A manager is somebody who's really kind of overseeing a lot of these stuff. They're not in there. They're not in the dirt. They're not shoveling. They're not leading from the front. They're kind of in the background, making sure all the stuff gets done. A manager will set the goals. So they're going to set the goal, and then they're going to outline those responsibilities to the team, control those processes, organize the resources to make sure that the goals are met, and maintain order within the organization. Now you might be saying, well, why would I want to be a leader versus a manager? And that's a good question. The answer is that you don't pick. You are both a leader and a manager. You, as a business owner, as somebody who has employees under them, has to have the ability to be both a leader and a manager. They're two sides to the same coin. If you are a manager, you are a leader. If you are a leader, you are a manager. It just depends on which hat you wear at what time. Because if there is something that's happening right now at work that it's completely collapsing, everybody's doing whatever they want, they don't have any standards, they don't have any policies in place, the bottom line is affected, the customer is upset, you don't even know what the heck is going on. Are you going to be a manager at that point, or are you going to be a leader? You're going to be a leader. You're going to say, you know what, I can't manage right now. I can't task these people. I can't really oh, come on, you come here. Hey, you didn't do this. Let's look at the SOP together. No, you're going to say, no. Screw all that. I need to go in there. I need to start telling people what to do from the front lines, not from the background, right? Because there's a difference between telling people in your office, hey, man, can you come here? Can I talk to you? Well, I've noticed that your performance has really been lacking, and I just want to talk to you. No, screw that. You're going to go in there. You're going to sit next to them or go outside or do the sales or whatever it is. You're going to sit right there, and you're going to start doing the job, and you're going to say, hey, let's go. Everybody, come on. I'm here. I'm with you guys. I'm in the suck. We're all going to do this right now. There's no more, oh, I'm on my phone. Oh, I'm watching TikTok. Oh, I'm watching Bridging Mindset on YouTube. No, we're here. I'm here in the front. I'm doing what you're all doing. And there's going to be stuff. There's going to be reports that are going to be pending. There's going to be meetings that are going to be pending. There's all that stuff is going to be pending. And that's fine. Because at the end of the day, if you have a business that is collapsing on itself, what is more important? Those KPIs, those reports, or honestly getting it up and running? And to get it up and running, you need to be a leader. You need to be in the front lines. You need to make sure that people see you working to the point where they say, man, I cannot have this guy just outwork me. If you have people who are still slacking when you're doing that, you need to get rid of them because they're bad for the team and they're not helping you out. But seeing somebody in the front line, seeing somebody actually there, working with them, doing the minimal tasks, doing the stuff that you're paying people to do will motivate the team and you're going to get a higher performance out of them. Once you establish a baseline of understanding, once you get the business up and running to where it can kind of maintain itself, that's when you take a step back as a leader and you put your management hat and you say, okay, how do I keep all this from being the same, from not collapsing on itself? That's when you start changing those policies and you stop saying, okay, I am only a leader. No, now you're going to be a manager. And now you're going to, again, you're going to outline responsibilities. You're going to set goals, control those processes, organize resources, and you're going to maintain the order. Okay? A manager maintains the operation and they streamline the operation through those policies that they enact. A leader gets them there. And I wrote this down because I really liked it. A leader will create change and a manager will react to these changes. Okay? What does that mean? Well, it means that the leaders will actually create the change. You being there physically with them in the, in the office or wherever, and creating that change is them seeing you there, doing the work, being motivated, and you create the change within the team. The manager will react to that by establishing those policies that they need to follow to keep that momentum going. A leader takes risks and a manager minimizes them, right? Obviously, a leader is somebody that is going to be very strategic, somebody that is going to say, I don't care what I have to pull, I need to get this done now, right? A manager is going to be like, oh man, I don't know if the shareholders or the stakeholders are going to be happy about that one. A leader is going to be like, dude, they're not going to be happy anyways. Now, what would you rather do? It burn or me fix it in this sketchy way? And bridging mindset is literally this, guys. It's the ability to balance both spectrums. It's the bridge between a manager and a leader. And you should be standing in the middle, right? Because it's a balancing act. And when I create these videos, I do them in the hopes of you guys understanding the two sides of the scale, right? The best thing to do is for you to practice being a leader and a manager. And the only way you can truly do that is if you understand the differences between a manager and a leader. Because you don't want to be a manager when you should be leading, and you don't want to be a leader when you should be managing. Let's say you put the fire out, everybody's working, and they're doing their stuff, they're doing what they need to do, and then you're just still there, all gung-ho, working 14-hour shifts, and everybody's only working 8 now, and you're just there every day. Guess what? The team's going to get burnt out because you were a leader longer than they needed you to be a leader for. And let's put it this way. If the business collapsed on itself at one point, and then you brought it back up, why would you say, oh yeah, I'm going to stay here with them now? No, you failed, or somebody failed, as a manager that got it to that point. You fixed it by being a leader. You established the baseline, but now you need to go back and you need to say what caused the business or the operation to fall to that previous level of failure so that I can prevent that from happening again. Okay? That is you being a manager. Think of them as being two hats. You have a red hat that you put on when you need to be a leader, and you have a blue hat that you put on when you need to be a manager. The situation is going to dictate. Right now, close your eyes and think of your business and say, I need to be a leader for my team because we're failing miserably. Or do you need to be a manager for your team because their performance is slowly slacking, and there's policies and there's gaps in the operation, and it's taking you twice as long to do something that your competitors are doing in half the time. They have something in place that you don't. those are management issues. If you have an operational issue, if you're doing tasks that take long, if you have high turnover, if you have all these type of things, that's more related to management. If your bottom line is completely just non-existent and everybody's morale is down, people hate each other, everybody dreads going to work, you need to be a leader. Okay? It might be hard sometimes to differentiate which hat you need to put on. The only advice I can give you is to try it out. Try putting both on, one at a time. Try being a leader. Try sitting in the front for a month or a week, whatever it takes to be there and actually show the team that you are putting in the effort and see what feedback you're getting. And if you need to clean slate, then you might have to do that. I wouldn't do it right off the bat because you're going to probably have a hard time, to be honest, as you being the only person that's keeping the business afloat, especially depending on how many team you have. But it's something to consider. You don't want to have a pessimistic team, but you also need to consider why they even got there in the first place. It might be that you have to internally look in yourself, right, and see what kind of failures you as a leader and a manager had throughout that time that kind of caused them to be that way. Now, I'm not saying that you are the reason. I'm just saying that it could be something that affected them. Now, there's a lot of examples out there in the real world of a leader. And the way I always envision this is a leader to me is how they picture them in the military, right? Where you have the leader that's always in the front. In the Marines, we have a saying that goes by, you run towards the sound of danger. And that's what me, in my opinion, is what I see in a leader, is for them to run towards the sound of danger or chaos and really say, you know what, I'm not afraid of whatever's out there. I'm going to go and you guys are going to be behind me because I'm going to lead that charge. And to me, that's what a leader is. And when I think of a manager, I think of like Apple and Amazon, where you say, what the heck, man? I order something on Amazon and the next day it's on my front porch. That's what I think of a manager, right? Like somebody there was such a good manager that they were able to enact that. I don't think a leader did that. That was more of a management strong suit, right? I don't think that the people who win wars are managers. I think that they're leaders and they're good at leading people and they're good at doing stuff on the spot, but they're not out there on the field, right? Step one. Yeah, outlining post. Okay, we're gonna assign somebody to outline the post. No, it's just like you get in there and you say, okay, you instantly off the bat, okay, you go here, 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 boom, boom. You establish the post, right? You put barriers, you put surrounding area, whatever it is, and a leader does that instinctively. And a manager is more about operations. It's more about perfecting. It's about tweaking, about patching holes, okay? The difference between understanding what a leader and a manager is important because it allows you to know when you have to be what. And the last thing I'll say is be the manager and leader that you wish you had when you were starting off your career. There's a lot of times where people forget the type of leader and manager they needed, and they don't implement that lack of teaching that they had when they're in that position to their subordinates, and they should, because it affects everything. So just remember, when you were starting off, if you had a bad leader, if you had a good leader, say, man, I really liked what this person did, and implement those things so that you have that same type of standing with your team. And if there is stuff that you absolutely hated, then don't do that. Make sure you're not doing that stuff. Self-reflect a little bit.